why have the masters chosen to live, for the most part, in such inaccessible and inhospitable locations, deserts and mountains? Well, you may think that they're inaccessible, but they're not if you're a master. And they don't mind the steps. And inhospitable, well, it sounds inhospitable, but you know, there's a valley 17,500 feet up where Maitreya lived, where his body of light is in kind of suspended animation. And it's warm. He has a beautiful garden. There's beautiful, it's like spring there all the year round. It's extraordinary. People don't know what exists in this world. And many of the masters live in such inhospitable areas of the world, in deserts. The Master Jesus has lived in the desert in Palestine, not Israel, Palestine, for 2,000 years, until relatively recently. He's traveled a lot, though. He's very, very traveled. In the 6th to the 7th century, he came to America. He taught the so-called Indian peoples, the Native American peoples, north and south, and they all have stories, legends of this white man who came from the east, who taught them and said that the great one would come at this time. This is the story of the Christ coming, which the Native Americans hold. Then he went out into the Pacific and taught the people of the Polynesian islands, and so they all have their history of Jesus, or word connected with Jesus. And in recent years, he's traveled all over the world, all over this country, all over Europe, and I don't know if there's any place he hasn't traveled to. He has hundreds and hundreds of disciples in all countries of the world, and he keeps them on their toes. Yes. Well, why do they choose such places? Well, because they're quiet. You know, when they go out jogging, they can do it in a straight line. They don't have to stop and start again and go around people and watch cars coming in. And so they can do it straight, up the mountain, down the mountain, so on. Of course, obvious. So that they can live out of humanity, away from humanity, in the remote areas, so living in these quiet, spacious places, unpolluted, and really live without eating, without sleeping, which is not so easy at our level. And they're not so inaccessible or inhospitable as we imagine.